Hello, everybody joining in for Anime Inc. Our Live Talks. I'm your host, Lizzie. For those that may not know what this show is about, we talk with different creators in the community about their journey in content creation and how we can support each other better in the community. So today we have very special guest, small business Jaded Jules. So an amazing entrepreneur here on the platform, and definitely we're going to talk about their journey in entrepreneurship and everything that they have for you guys. So definitely let's get it started and let's invite them on and let's have. All right. Hi.
Hello.
How are
Can you hear
you?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I know how it is sometimes with Instagram. You're like, hey, here we came up. But yeah, you're good.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad we were able to do the interview, and I appreciate you wanting to come on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, for those that may not know what you do, introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Keisha. I own and run Jaded Jules. It's a pop culture accessory business. It started out as apparel, but with tariffs and changing of economy, I didn't want to like tax people. So I found a local vendor here in the United States. So going with accessories until further notice.
Okay. And I definitely first wanted to ask, how long have you been doing business for, and what inspired you to create your business? What was that push? Because it's one thing that you have this idea, it's another thing to go forward with it. Share it on social media and like get it running. So, what was the inspiration for your business?
Uh, so it's been like 4 or 5 years. It's been under different names
Mhm.
over the past, but the first one, it I'll get into that. But about I guess around when I had my child, I was like, I wanted to create something, maybe something to pass on if it actually I'm actually able to build it to a way to pass it on so longevity. So and just show her that you can do what you want regardless of whatever you try to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I remember you going under the name Local Weirdo, I believe,
Yeah.
before, and then you transitioned to Jaded Jules. And happens to a lot of us. Sometimes we just have to like rebrand and choose what works for us. So if you're able to just share like what the rebrand meant for you and like some of the lessons you learned from like transitioning from the first thing that I knew of to Jaded Jules, and how Jada Juice fit better for you and like what you want to do right now going forward.
Um, so it started with dope nerds, but I didn't do my research as
Oh,
much, and so the name was already trademarked, and so I had to rebrand and went with Local Widow. Was like, oh, that fits me, right? And I was like, okay, it's cool, but it wasn't sticking. And then Paris and I wanted to go to just accessories instead of try to compete with everyone because it seems like everyone's coming out with like an anime streetwear or this or that. So just niche my brand into like accessories and smaller things. So, and then Jaded Jules is named after my two kids, my first two kids. My daughter's middle name is Jade, so Jaded, and Jules is for my first son, Julius, and it was like a nickname my husband was gonna call him Jules. So that's how it got now. So that's what brings us here.
I mean,
And I
I
can't
love
sorry.
no worries.
And I was like, I gotta really push it this time after I named it after my kids. Can't be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, let's go something else now.
No, I definitely get that, but I think it's sweet, like especially with this new revamp of the business. Like I love that it's like based on your family. I feel like it gives like a like an intimate thing, kind of like like a personal touch. And I do like the name. I think it's a pretty name as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I wanted to ask for those that may not know what type of X, because we're definitely going to talk about the most recent drop that you dropped for your products. But for those that may not know like what type of products you offer, like definitely can share that now, or what you plan to have in the future and everything like that.
Okay. Yes. At the moment, it's just the one bracelet, starting small because I don't have much funds at the moment. So one product at a time, trying to push that as far as possible. But at the moment, I have wallet ideas. So either that, and then I have a ring idea that's like Naruto, towards Naruto. Um, like chains are big right now, wallet chains and trends for like the baggy jeans and stuff. I have ideas for that. Um, Earrings, so those typical jewelry products at the moment. Maybe some belts. Have ideas written down for the future. So yeah.
That's awesome. And how was it growing up for you as, blurred, like just loving different things and like the nerddom? And how do you feel, fast forward years later, like, you start your own business that was like nerdy related and you get to be amongst other blurs that are also having businesses. How was that for you, growing up and then afterwards, being able to see other people in the blur space making their own businesses and just being able to outwardly love the things that they love.
Okay. Um. So I guess I was a blurred way before I knew the title. It was just like, oh, you're a nerd, and then, oh yeah, black nerd. Uh, Back then it wasn't like mainstream or accepted like most people's journey. And that I'm at the age of like, yeah, I seen the whole transition to mainstream. Everybody's into it, and which is great. I'm not going to be one of those gatekeepers of like, oh, you didn't get it out the mud, you wasn't shamed for it type of situations you see online. It's like, why do you want that for people? But yeah, um, when I first got into wanting to start it, the main one I saw was like Namiware. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, of course.
Big one. I saw him doing it, and I was like, yeah, I could do that probably. Like, I went first wanted to start like a fitness line because I was in the military, and I was like, all I was doing was fitness or doing something like that, and I was like, I could do that. But then I was like, I also just love this right here, so that's cool. Um, all my nerdy stuff. Um, it it just seems cool to be with people in the same space as people that just cherish everything or geek out on things you love and see how their spin on it. You like, oh, you have streetwear, then you have like more dressy wear in certain companies, or how one streetwear idea doesn't really like, oh, he had this idea and they had that idea, and it's like a big difference. So to just be able to see everybody creativities and bless the people with different merch and different ideas.
Yeah, of course. And I definitely still wanted to talk about like the dope nerd shirt because you still have it on the website that I saw, with the bracelet. So I wanted to ask, like, what was the inspiration for that shirt, and like, what was the impact like when you first dropped it, and even up to now for people that still probably, buy the shirt and wear the shirt out.
No. So yeah, I still have mine. I wear mine. It's kind of faded now. Uh, uh, the Run DMC. I'm really big into Adidas, and Run DMC had basically shell toe sneakers on lock back then, like in the '80s, and so their logo and dope nerds. I was like, that fits right there. Simple, easy. You know what you're getting. It's a cool thing. So dropped that, and it was perceived well. Got a couple of sales, um, and that's where I got the idea from.
It's awesome. And I know like your brand is just like, a lot of like nerd and like pop culture. So I wanted to ask like some of the ideas that, you'll have for the future or even that you've done in the past and even now. What are some of the inspirations that you pull from? Was it from, like from your childhood, some of the pop culture you saw from your childhood, or maybe just like fashion trends you adopted, as you grew up, in the pop culture, or just certain things you've watched? Like, what inspires you when you create some of the designs and some of the products that you push out?
Um, it's mostly stuff I like. So I have multiple Star Wars merch that I pushed out. So Star Wars is old as day now. People always hate like on the newest series. I'm not one of those. I'm just gonna love everything that comes with it. You like it, you love it. It's not that good. Just keep going. But I have like 15 things because I created a droid shirt, but it looks like the Dodgers logo, and it has like BB-8 instead of the baseball. So just different things. It could be sports because I'm into sports, or because I also created like a Mamba Dragon Ball Z like fusion shirt.
Yeah.
So just different aspects. It's not just nerdy because you like sports and just TV. So that's where I draw it from.
That's true. And also, I guess we definitely have to talk about like your love for Star Wars and how long you've had that love and how it like kind of transformed to like the Mando bracelet that you have out. Because I think it's really cool, not only like just the bracelet, but compared to like some other brands where they just had the bracelet and maybe that's it, you went as far as doing like the packaging as well, that you know the bracelet will come in. So how first we'll start with how long you love Star Wars and how that's like just shaped you as a person, and then the second part will be just talking about like how you transform that love into this bracelet because it does look like it's like a labor of love, you know.
Yeah. Um, I guess I got into like, even though they don't consider Star Wars a sci-fi, I got into sci-fi in like high school. So that's when I like binge watched a lot of stuff. If I don't know if you remember like the sci-fi channel that they
Mhm.
used to have before all the
Yeah.
streaming we have now. Yeah, I used to miss school and just binge because they would have like 8 hours worth of a show. So and got into Star Wars back then in high school, and that's where I started my love for Star Wars. And for the bracelet, I was like, the there's multiple Mandalorians and their clans and different armors. So depending on what clan you in, it it shapes your armor. Like the what is his name? Benji? No, wait. No, Ben. And then his last name, I forget. But Ben, boy,
Yeah.
his armor is just plain because he hasn't found his clan or got into one. Is different compared to Boba Fett and Boba Fett's dad because he's really didn't grow up into the Mandalorian culture.
Mhm.
If you do know or don't know, he's a clone basically. I don't know how much you know about Star Wars or not.
I may not have like the biggest knowledge because my dad watched it. Like I know enough, even though I'm like don't have the most knowledge, but I know enough.
Yeah. But yeah. And then the box. I wanted something you just won't just throw away. Something you can keep and you can pick up and look at it and be like, oh, something that reminds you of something you love about Star Wars. You have the Berserk, not armor, but iron, um, which they make into their armor.
Yeah.
So you can just use it, throw some stuff in it to hold it, or just place it up as a keepsake. And it just reminds you, oh, this bracelet is made of stainless steel. It's strong enough, like the Berserk, and it's gonna go with you for as long as possible.
It's true. And just from seeing the reviews on the website, you know, you're known for your quality. So I gotta ask when it comes to the bracelet, because I know. So I should ask, like, what were some of the differences between like making apparel and finding like the right materials, like where to source it from, to jewelry? Like, how much of a difference is there? Because even for me as a business, I haven't delved into jewelry. I'm kind of curious, like, you know, what's the process? You know, trying to find the right materials that work for you, and you know, getting it manufactured and everything like that.
Um, it's something like trying to find something that's gonna last and not like tarnish over time, but also not also break the bank for your customers.
Mm.
And with apparel, like the best way to get apparel is overseas because it's way
Yeah.
cheaper. but with like all the taxes now, it may not
Mhm.
be as cheap. But
Mhm.
and that's requiring like um samples getting shipped over, and that's like almost like $300 just for one
Yeah.
sample or something like that. And that if you're doing it right, they should go towards your whole total, but sometimes it doesn't. And then if they get it wrong, now you got to get another sample. So with the bracelet, found the vendor. They had impeccable reviews and stuff, and they work with you with your budget, and then they give you an outline of the minimal. And so that's what I found. And trying to, you have to finalize how it looks, because once they make the mold, you can't like go back and be like, oh, I want to change it, because I did have that. And I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. We can work with this.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool. It's cool. We can work with it. It wasn't bad. It's something most people probably won't notice,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's something I noticed. Just double check, triple check your final like designs and stuff with either apparel or jewelry.
Mhm.
And with jewelry, I feel like you could be a lot creative with that. So good.
Yeah, that makes sense. And actually, because when it comes to the designs, I know everybody's different. Like when they make their designs for merch, like depending on like if you can draw, if you cannot draw, you get inspiration from Pinterest or not. So, what is it like from like beginning to end for you when you're like you get that idea and then you're trying to go from that idea to getting it manufactured? Like what do you do personally to sit down and like design it and like get it into reality? Because I think every business has a different way of doing it. It's always kind of interesting to hear from every other business.
Uh, I can't draw. I can do a little bit, but not great. So if I were, I try to use just pictures and then reference pictures. And then if I can draw like the parts I want changed, I could draw that. Um,
Mhm.
and then with the manufacturers, they will take that and do like a 3D setup, or like not AI, but Photoshop illustrated type situation. They'll send it back. Is this what you want? And then you double check, go back again if it's not. So picture references, try to connect the dots, make sure they get it as clear as possible, and then shoot it over. So, and when I was doing apparel, I was using Photoshop, trying to make sure it's lined up where I want it, and getting like mock-up packs, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. And I know that you're into a lot into Star Wars, and I know there's gonna be like more pieces that you came up with. If there's anything you could share of like what other plans you have for Star Wars, and even like other fandoms or just general ideas you may have for like the merch going forward.
so I have a ring idea for
Mhm.
Naruto. It's probably played out. Everybody that's played out. The Kashi cloud, like
Yeah.
rain thing, but with like a gem inside with the cloud shape with the gem inside. It would be cool, like a ruby type situation. Not a ruby, but a gem crystal. Because nobody got the budget for that. Be like, oh, here's a ruby. But yeah, so that that's even though I haven't watched One Piece as much as others, I have some One Piece accessories that I believe people will appreciate, because that's a big fandom. Either you hate it or
Yeah.
you love it. Somebody's gonna get a reaction out of it, and so
Yeah.
hopefully there's more people that love it, and then they come shop with me. So I have ideas for that.
Mhm.
Um, which one I had? Had a have an idea for Yu-Gi-Oh! That's way back then, of a wallet that I've been having for a while that I wanted at least get a mock up of, see if it's doable, and see what from there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And I wanted to ask, especially like when you're rebranding and then like you change pages and social media and the algorithm, it's just like, what were some of the, I guess like the learning curves or the obstacles you had to face when it came to the rebrand? Because I know for a lot of people, like they talk about just trying to figure out how to start over, how to get people that you already had coming back to the page or just promoting. So for you, it was like, what were some things that you had to re-navigate or maybe relearn or something that you didn't expect when you did the rebrand, and you had to change the channels and everything?
So before the rebrand, I wasn't really doing much because that's where I feel like I'm failing because I'm not promoting
Mhm.
enough. I'm more one of if you build it, they will come because it's quality.
Yeah.
I believe quality. Other people have said it was quality, but
Mhm.
and nowadays with technology, if you're it's not seen every second because attention span, it's not being pushed. So that's what I'm learning to do. I
Mhm.
need to create content at least like as a batch so I can push it out at one time and just schedule it. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm relearning to get back into the groove of post, post, create. Even I'm
Mhm.
an introvert and I'm humble. So
Mhm.
like just bragging and be like, oh, this, I do that. And I'd be forgetting I have to sell this. Like somebody, I was at the library and they was like, oh, I like your bracelet. Is the Mando bracelet. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I was like, oh yeah, Keisha, you sell this. And then I had to come back and be like, you remember when you said you like my bracelet? I also sell these. I created it. If you like to check it out, this is my Instagram. I was like, okay. I'm doing slightly better to remember to push your stuff. And with the rebrand, it's just hopeful when rebranding is like you have a solid footing. Like I have my numbers and my margins, how much I could sell for, just making sure I have everything lined up. Redid my business plan instead of doing apparel, see where I can, what products I'm going to sell, where I believe it's going to hit here or hit there. Try to get the marketing into the budget where I'm not taking the pictures and hopefully I can get someone else to do it. So like just figuring out where I was missing in like last portion and where I noticed where I want to hit now.
Yeah, that's definitely fair, and I love like that you have like that sense of like like a little bit more confidence now and like where you want certain things to be. I think that's the beauty of like just I guess like business and what we get told a lot is like sometimes we hit that point where we have to rebrand. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, and I feel like that's a beautiful thing about just having a brand and then just evolving. Like sometimes that happens and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. So I really love that. I really love just like talking about these things because we don't really get to talk about these things. We don't really get a chance to just talk about ourselves and what we're doing and like how our journey is. And I wanted to ask, I talk about like burnout, I talk about imposter syndrome, I talk about how, you do like work life balance. So for you, like have you experienced those things? What are some things that you've kind of had to learn over time when it came to that to try to get you back motivated, for the business, to push things out and stuff like that?
And yes, um, understand burnout because 5 months postpartum, oh, almost 5 months postpartum. Uh, just had my second son, and
Mhm.
I just launched this bracelet and on like the 15th of last month, and I have not posted much. And I also
Mhm.
work overnights. So
Mhm.
when he's up in the daytime, I'm up in the daytime. So trying to figure out where I'm going, like, oh, okay, I could do this here while he's napping and this here and try to edit it. And then, but I also work and also want to still continue my career. So understanding trying to balance that in this and then also just make sure you're doing stuff for yourself is a lot. So just trying to find those pockets and schedule things, making sure you stick to a schedule, even if it's a small schedule. Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, I have 10 minutes. I could maybe do a little video, a little short video saying, oh, this. So I just trying to find pockets of time and scheduling that time to be productive or even relax. So
Yeah, I definitely. Well, congratulations, and I can understand how can that can be like postpartum. So definitely, I would say like just just take it one day at a time, and then that's the best we can do. But we've all fell in that. I fell in that where it's just like I feel overwhelmed, and I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out how to not be overwhelmed. So I definitely understand that. It's something that like I feel like it goes in like an ebb and flow. But sometimes like
mhm,
sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's like, and then other times like sometimes it's never an in between where like we try but
yeah, I understand. And imposter syndrome, I've felt that a lot, especially in my career. Um, like you know, you know something, but sometimes you be like, oh, do I really need? Do I want to speak up and embarrass myself? And I could be completely wrong and
yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, I'm trying. I in the last couple of years, I've been getting out of that in my my daytime career, and with the business, I still feel that way because I'm rebranding and new again and getting back in front of the camera because a video could hit and you'd be like, oh, I'm finna take off and go viral. And then the next one gets like six views and one like, and you'd be like, I'm done. Move the camera away from my face. I don't want to see it ever again. And then I don't like the sound of my voice. So when I have to watch back a video, I'll be like, I don't like this, but I guess I'm gonna post it anyway. So yeah.
I feel like I found my people because I hate my voice too, as crazy as that sounds, as much videos I have now. I hate hearing my voice back. Like when like any recording, phone recording. It's gotten better, but I will say like
Mhm.
there's still a little part of me that's like I don't want to hear it, but I have to hear it.
I used to like you hear actors like, yeah, I don't watch my movies back and stuff like that. I was like, but you was great in it. And they're like, no, I don't want to see it. No, I'm good.
It's like I don't
Now
want
I understand. It's like I think it's good enough. I didn't stumble. I didn't stutter too much. It's good. Post.
Yeah, it's rare for me to find other people that feel that way, but it's like it's just something you can't describe. I feel like, especially
It's like,
when you're more, I think when you're more like soft spoken too, that happens to a lot of
mhm.
us who are like, I can hear when I'm not enunciating. I don't know what it is.
My husband are like, oh, it sounds great. It was like, I can't believe you. You're biased. Or you're other people like, oh, that's fine. It's like, no, I hate it. It's irritating to me.
And I would say, how has it been? I always ask like people like sometimes you may not know what direction to go, but you get encouragement either from like your peers in the space, people that have bought from you, or just when you've gone to events and stuff like that. Have you had any like of those personal experience that kind of reminded you like, okay, even though I'm still figuring things out, this is where I'm meant to be. This is my purpose when it comes to like the business.
When I get like reviews and people are like, oh, yes, I like it. Like, I made a jersey. I only sold one, and it was like a variant of the jersey. And she loves it. I see her take it to cons, and she's showing it around. So stuff like that. And it's like, oh, at least one person has it, and they're showing it off, and they love it. And I was like, let's keep going. Eventually, we'll get to 100 people, 1,000 people. Um, If I stay consistent, we will get there. Can't if you count yourself out now, you won't ever see where you can take off from. Because like
Yeah.
with that Coca-Cola story, they sold 12 in the year, and now like they the biggest company now. So just keep going. Don't don't kill yourself. Slow it down. Don't overpressure yourself to get to Coca-Cola status, but at least just keep going until you feel like it's you don't want to go anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And what are some of the goals that you have, for the business, whether it's on long term, short term, whatever you want to share?
Um, right now, I would just like to get, I guess, to 1,000 followers by the end. Well, I don't want to hit to the end of the year, but just
Yeah.
grow to the just see it go up. At least I don't feel like because it's a numbers game with followers, and I shouldn't really count on that. But I guess that's how you get your views up, and more people get to see it. So just growth and just work hard. Start hopefully. There's some nerdy shops. See if they would do advertising for my business or allow me to advertise in their business or even sell within their business. But hopefully get there.
Yeah, that's true. And one question I do ask on the show is about like support in the blur community just in general. And I ask, what have you seen in like, your experience with the community that we do well when we try to support each other? What can we do better in terms of supporting each other? This is based on like your experience, in the space. And I ask this question because everybody has like a unique twist to the question.
So far, I'm lucky to just see most people are supporting each other. They defend you. I see like if somebody or like somebody's racist or just trying to bring someone down, you see the community come and pick them up and say, "Oh, you're doing great. Continue to do great." And then the bad thing about it sometimes it be your own people that shame you, but if they're doing like, oh yes, oh your cosplay wasn't okay, like pro standards, they try to help and offer instead of just shaming you. But for the most part, I believe the community is good and very supportive, and that's what I've been involved in. I haven't had anyone come and like just tarnish my name or anything or try to shame me out of it. But so overall, it's been a good experience.
Yeah, that's good. And I definitely agree with what you said in terms of like what we can do better and what we already do well. So I do appreciate that input as well. Yeah, and I was gonna ask I always ask people like how has like doing business for as long as you've done, even amidst the rebrand and everything, how has it helped you as a person, whether it's just like learning new skills or just mentally, physically, like how does this journey help you individually?
So I'm more logical. So more numbers, facts, and stuff like that. It's helped me be on my creative side more and getting yeah, just being creative more and just exploring that side and just having fun regardless of what it comes to. So just building my confidence and just having fun in my world, the little worlds that I like to just venture out into because that's what nerds love to do. Well, without everything else for the real world and just go into our little fantasy world and just have fun. So I'm loving that aspect uh, of it. So yeah. And the challenges I'm facing is being consistent and remembering the post. So like, oh yeah, remember that idea you had like 2 weeks ago? You should probably do that. Probably like record that idea and put it out there because it's been 2 weeks and they probably forgot you alive. So yeah, so trying to be more consistent. That's my challenge, and being being able to be more creative and out of my head and worrying about things. So double-edged sword.
Yeah, let me say that was a real statement. You were like 2 weeks. Like, I feel like I've been in that same like that idea that 2 weeks ago. You gotta run that back. Like that had happened eventually. Like, what do you do?
Before somebody else had that same idea, you'd be like, "Oh man, now I'm doing a trend." And like I came up with that idea 2 weeks ago. Now look at me.
So it's like, now look at you. Like, you just took so damn long. Like, come on.
I could have been viral. Now look at me. I'm over here stuck.
I definitely understand that. And I would say, what are some of the lessons that you've learned to get to the point that you are now in your business?
Um, hmm, let me think. Just um, know where you want to end up. Like, you want to end up here, being profitable, having sold this amount. So, if you know where you want to end up, what's the little smaller steps you need to take to get there? So, don't think the big picture all at once. You know the end goal, but find the little small steps where you need to be.
Mhm.
So, like me posting consistently, or at least enough that you feel like you did more than what you did like a year ago or a week ago. So, yeah.
That's true. And definitely like when it comes to like the jewelry, I feel well, when I see it, I see like it being like modern, like kind of like with some brands where it's just like you can like wear it every day. It doesn't feel like it's like too much or too little. So was that choice like based on your personal preference when it comes to jewelry? Are you somebody that liked jewelry before you decided to make that the business now? Like I kind of like want to see like where your head was at when it came to the style of jewelry that you're doing for us.
Um, I don't really wear jewelry. As you can see, I have nothing in my ears. But I do when I like get dressed up and want to show off or feel pretty about myself. I'd be like, oh, let me just add a little
Yeah.
bedazzle. Like if you're a fan, like, oh, you would somebody would notice if a fan is around, like, oh yeah, I like that. And it's just small things. So it's gonna be like a minimalist type of situation. If you know the show or the movie or whatever, you will get it. And it just that's and I feel like now I have a jewelry line, I'm gonna have to wear more jewelry. So it's cool. It makes the outfit look better. So,
No, yeah, I mean, like, I think, well, first, I think you're doing a good job so far. Like, I saw the video where, you were showing, like, the watch, with the bracelet. Like, I think that's a good start, like, showing, like, this is how I
mm,
can wear it for work. This is how I can wear it to go out and stuff like that. So I
mm.
think things like that will help and stuff like that. And, yeah, that's it. That's very interesting that you say that because I was somebody that like I wear jewelry, but it's like it's mostly earrings. I'm not the one that have like the chain and the ring, and like it's not it's not all of that. So it's interesting that you say. And I would say, do you think nowadays, especially with a lot of us as fans like getting older, that like minimalistic style is like a better way to go when it comes to fashion in general? I want your opinion on that, since you have like a minimalist fashion brand.
Not really. I feel like be as loud and proud about whatever you got on. If you want to be extra, like big print, big thing, great. That's your style. I've never been that way. Um, that's just more casual. I 9 times out of 10, I will want to wear sweatpants out and just chill. But I'm like, I think this type of situation is jeans or some kind of dress situation. But that's just me. But I feel be as bright and out there as you want.
Mm.
But if you even at work, I feel like, hey, be bold. How else are you going to stand out or be, I guess, noticed? But if you are on the minimalist side, that's great too, because subtle hints in fashion is good too. Not everything needs to be red lights flashing. Yeah.
No, I get, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, like someone that's like, oh, this is me. Like, it's like, no, it doesn't have to be. It depends on your personal style. I understand that.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to bring up because that's something that us as small business don't get to bring up when it comes to the tariffs, because you did mention that. And for you, how has the tariffs affected you personally when it came to just business and like rebranding? I know for me, I'm still figuring that out because if you have a fulfillment service, they're now mentioning like how much per order they're doing it. For mine it's like 10 cents, but for some people it's like dollars. It really depends. So for
Mhm.
you personally, how was it like affecting you, and did you have to do?
Um, Sorry for interrupting.
Okay.
But yeah, just noticing how much was getting quotes, even if you like I said, samples are like $300 just for one like hoodie, like 100% cotton hoodie and all whatever design, just to get it shipped. And it was going to be probably more with just tariffs getting taxed on just that little weight. Um, and then you calculate, oh, pounds and pounds is going to be ridiculous, and you can't even sometimes estimate that. So your shipment coming in and you thought you estimated, and that was like $1,000 more. I didn't want to go through that and then try to tax people. People already in the economy, people are losing jobs left and right. Um, so you don't want to just push that on to them. And it also would affect my budget as well. And I was getting away from doing the pre-order situation. So everything, hopefully in the future, I push out will be pre-made and ready to go. So that's why I shifted to the accessory, because they're small enough to package, doesn't weigh that much, and come to you quick and easy. So.
Yeah, that's true, and that's something that, well, because I know for my stuff is pre-made, but with pre-orders, because it's not the first time I've heard that people are moving away from pre-orders. Um, what are some of the, I guess maybe there's pros to pre-orders, but what are some of the cons of pre-orders? Because I'm not too familiar in that when it comes to pre-order.
So with pre-orders, you're basically saying, "Oh, I have this," so you will buy a sample, cost you this amount of money.
Mm,
Hopefully, it's correct, and you don't have to get another sample, so it's even more money.
mm,
So tell the people, "Oh, this is what you're getting. This is how it's going to be."
mm,
First, you can do like quality checks. So you the sample is correct, but once you get it back, it's not all your quantities is not everything looks the same. They're not form fitting. So now you have to either work with your vendor with if they're gonna give you a discount on it, they're gonna redo these, maybe, maybe not. That's
mm,
the con. So you can't quality check, you can't get your stuff correct. Um,
mm,
and then you have to wait. The waiting time is forever. So
mm,
they said they ship it, they get lost in transit,
mm,
or they got to redo it because it did get lost in transit, and now your customers are waiting. They want a refund. Now you have to pay back
mm,
money
mm,
that you got charged. You thought you was good. Now that's another fee on top of the already fee you already whatever company's taking your doing your transaction. They're doing another transaction, so you're even losing money on that.
mm.
So what else? Cost money, quality check. You can't do that. Uh, so those are a few cons. There's probably more, but yeah,
Oh,
even
okay.
more. There's a
That
few
definitely
you think of
that
possible.
definitely that definitely puts it into perspective. Because yeah, I've seen like with certain companies, like I kind of got the gist of it, but that puts it like more into perspective. Especially when I've seen with certain brands where
like if they didn't meet the quota, then they have to refund because it's like you didn't meet the requirement. So like, if it does, then you don't hear that. But if it doesn't, then they say they refund because they don't have enough money for X, Y, and Z like design because it didn't hit the margin. So like I kind of had an idea, but I didn't know like to what extent to explain this. So thank you for explaining that. That makes a lot of sense.
So yeah.
Yeah. And one of the last questions I'll ask is, when people buy from you and people interact with your brand or work with you, what is the feeling or what is the vibe that you want them to have or to leave with whenever they buy from you, whenever they interact or whenever they support your brand?
First, I hope they love the product, and hopefully, if they in person, again, introverted. Sometimes I'd be like, I have to get in the mindset that I'm selling and have to put on my customer service voice and everything, and to not be short. So hopefully, they feel like I'm genuinely happy to be here,
Yeah.
which I am. Sometimes it doesn't cross over from my face because I have RBF, I guess. So, so I'm hoping that crossover. But once you get in the conversation with me about like the fandom, it's like it starts giving towards that. So hopefully I'm not being short or something like that. And just even if they don't, we can always talk about the fandom because I'm always ready to talk about something because
Yeah.
I like it. Hopefully you're here because you like it. We could just talk about it. So just hit me in the messages and be like, oh yeah, let's talk about the new episode of this or blah blah
Yeah.
blah. So it's not just here to sell. Just find people that wants to talk about it. Because my husband loves me to death, but he's not always like, oh, let's talk about this episode of blah 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 or this movie about Star Wars. He'll go to it, but he won't remember it. He'll be like, what? And I'll be like, bro, you was right there. We bought the ticket. We was sitting right there. You forgot this part? It was like ridiculous. So, and then he get upset when I do the same thing with his shows and be like, okay, this is why I love, but the disconnect of like interest in shows is cool. So if anybody wants to talk about different fandoms or TV shows, anime, and I love animes too, so yeah.
Oh
Not just
yeah,
Star Wars.
I feel that because like me and my husband, we have a lot in common when it comes to like the anime and stuff like that. But then, like every once in a while, you hit that little like, I don't remember this, or like you finished this before I did. So it's like I don't know what you're talking about, or like he likes to spoil, and I'm like, yo, I'm not ready for that. If I want to spoil, I'm gonna watch the video somewhere. Like, yo, the same over there. So I just understand.
So, like most of the anime we have in common, he's like 90s like Gundam. Like it's good, but I haven't finished it because like it's a little slower because the newer animes are faster paced. He's like, okay, you gotta get in the mindset. But like Baki, he liked that. I didn't like it. I was like, even though I was the one that put it on, I was like, this ain't for me. And he ran off with that one. So I was like, okay, as long as you like it, that's cool.
Yeah, as long as you like it.
So,
And
go ahead.
and definitely thank you so much for coming on. I hope you had a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself.
I was nervous. That's why I was like, do we have prepared questions? So I won't be like short and be like, yes, no, okay. And hopefully this one came out okay. So
No, yeah, you're great. I never have no worries with you guys because like I tried to do the research before or just figure out what works based on what I learned. So you never have to worry. I don't bite. You're good. So for those that may want to, keep supporting, buying, figuring out what you're doing next, definitely plug in where you want them to follow you, where you want them to shop, and all of that.
Mostly here on Instagram. I'm trying to grow my following on TikTok, but I sometimes forget. Oh yeah, I have that account there too. Again, consistently posting, but it hits here on Instagram first and then goes to TikTok. So yeah, here in TikTok. But yeah.
That's awesome. And thank you guys that like came out to support the show. I really do appreciate it. This is the first one for the month. Um, Now, I will try my best to do the open call. We're just transitioning into vending mid-month for Anime NJ Plus Plus from the 14th to the 16th. For those that may not know what I do on the platform, hi, my name is Lizzie. I have my brand Anime Inc. Starts with, and we're getting back into it. Our art inspired brand. So, the main picture is mine, some of it to the side, and then some in support. But we have apparel as well, art prints, stickers, pin buttons. We try to vend in the tri-state as well, trying to push the commissions soon as well. But it's extended because we also support the blurred community as well. So we've dived into other things with the art, try to combine everything to be more like community driven / just a plethora of things. So therefore, you see me cosplay for the brand, but also just as an extension of the brand with other creators and collab with other people. Shout out to people like in the Hidden Leaf Village, Clutch Boy, Wonder, and Blue, and Sparta, everybody, and BBD, everybody in that community, as well as the Taco Noir being the cosplay model in February for them, being part of the New World Institute of Magic when I cosplayed for them as well. Shout out to Blurs Unite. We got to be part of the Block Party 9 this year, interviewing Be Nice or Else branding leveling, winning the opportunity grant. And yeah, we just do a bunch of things. And if you want to catch up on all those things, definitely follow the broadcast channel. Make sure on Anime Ink Art 1 you go into the links. We're updating everything, particularly the YouTube channel, because we have the YouTube channel for the Anime Ink Art Live Talks, which is an extension of already promoting people on our pages, but it's more personal. If you want to be part of the show, we always have the form up in the bio, but definitely we have open calls. You can reach out. The form will always be sent that way. We have the secondary channel, which is the Anime Inc. Live 1. We try to post clips. We just had to figure out a better way to get those clips out because my laptop is not that strong to handle all of that editing. So we're transitioning to probably the PC and streaming and multi-streaming here and there, depending on how many people. So definitely, if you want to keep up with all of that, keep up with events that we're going to be vending going forward, next year into the end of this year, definitely just keep following those two channels. And yeah, and when we have the next show, we'll let you know. And definitely thank you guys for supporting as always. And I hope you guys have a good night. And I hope you have a good night.
Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.